Afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? Another Monday afternoon. How's it going out there? Who's had a profitable morning? Big old moves this morning. Well, big old moves in the last sort of half an hour. Wouldn't say the rest of the morning was that eventful, but the last half an hour has been pretty good. Some decent movement across the board. Right, sorry, got distracted there. So yeah, how's everybody's morning been? Anybody make lots and lots of money this morning? Banked a little bit this morning on the H4 M15 mean reversion. Aussie dollar CAD, close that out. 2 positions. Oops. So those 2 down there. And it's still going this morning. So got out of it nicely though. So banked a little bit there. Apart from that, I don't think anything else has closed out this morning. Apart from the stuff that we closed. Oh no, just closed out a New Zealand dollar, US dollar as well. New Zealand, US, where are you? There you are. This is H1M5. Let's just close those 2 out. So there's another profit there. So that's up to 7.8. Mean reversion's up to 12 for the month. Trend pullbacks got 10. Nothing banked today on that one. And COT bias is banked 12.5 now. So yeah, good month all round on the EAs. Looking good. So banked a little bit more this morning. Diamond, yes, made a couple of daily goals worth this morning. Good. A couple of daily goals worth, eh? Even better. That's what we like. 1 daily goals worth, not enough. 2 daily goals worth, definitely. So news-wise, obviously we've got Chicago PMI this afternoon, which isn't particularly impactful. That's 1/4 hour after open. And we've got George speaking later, which again probably won't do an awful lot. So no news really this afternoon. Earnings-wise, nothing today. So see what happens to the market today, this afternoon. Should be an interesting one. We had some decent movement on the US dollar. Took the Euro Swiss short this morning in profit. I bet you are. Oh no, Euro Swiss short this morning. All right, cool. That was the ADR, yeah? Very nice. It's gone down 17 pips. Nearly half an ADR, which is good. Yeah, so the euro today, well not the euro, the US dollar today, big drop. So US dollar's gone boom, collapse, boom. Happened just recently, in the last sort of hour. There's no news for it, so it's just literally a dump. So this is the inverse of the Dixie. Obviously, oh, excuse me, God blimey, I've been scalping this morning. I'm tired. God, I've had a terrible morning. Awful this morning. Couldn't get in tune with the market at all. Euro US dollar. So this is inverse of the Dixie. So this morning we've had a bit of a push. So the US dollar is pulling back. This key level here. Oops. We have just broken back above. So let's draw some other levels on while we're here. And get rid of this lot up here now because that's ancient history. So that level there is the next key support stroke resistance. So this level here where we had an accumulation bounce and we crashed through it, came back, retested. So this is where I expect we're going to get to 150 ADR. Probably, I might make it today. It'd be nice if we did make it up there today. But if we get up to 150 ADR today, be a lovely little short opportunity on that one. Just hit New Zealand yen and New Zealand US ADRs. So we got some movement going on the New Zealand dollar as well. Yeah, pushing. New Zealand dollar's pushing at the moment as well. So yeah, plenty of activity this morning. All good. So weak US dollar, as I suspected. They'll probably weaken it a little bit more this week. And then either on Wednesday, it depends when they power it up, but it depends where they get. Basically, they're going to try and get to where they want to get to with the US dollar. And when they get there, they'll reverse it. So if they can get there by Wednesday, sorry, not there. Wednesday, 1:15. Then they'll probably move it off of that. If they can't, then we'll be waiting for them to get to Friday, and then they'll trigger the reversal on non-farm. So we'll see what happens this week. But it'll be basically just got to be patient and wait to see where they go. So if you want to get into anything against the US dollar. There's potential, obviously, for this just to come back down and then push back up again, but it can turn at any time. So, afternoon, Jacob. We've got bearish engulfing starting to go in at the moment on M5 on that one. But we'll whiz through the ADRs and have a quick look at what the ADRs have done today. So, Aussie dollar CAD, that's 150 ADR. We had a push up into 125, started to pull back, didn't get anywhere near a reversal alert, pushed up again, and we've just put in a new high above 150 and coming down now. So potentially this is looking like it's about to break. Aussie CAD, really strong move today. There's been a few of these. Aussie dollar Swiss, again, nice strong Aussie dollar. We've had the reversal and the retest on that, which is just starting to come down. Aussie dollar yen, big strong push, still going. The reversal alert was triggered here on this one. And we just basically went into an accumulation. Did drop down. Probably wouldn't have got out there. That's not far enough to get out. You'd have had, 15 pips odd there. So, yeah, pushing up again to 125. So, again, another opportunity to get into that one. Aussie US, approaching the 150, 125 level. So, big squeeze on that one. This is obviously to do with the US dollar weakness. Euro odd. That's been pushing on the Australian dollar strength. So, that's had a reversal off of 100. Euro Swiss. As Andy got in this morning up there at 125, nice reversal, nice M formation, beautiful on that one. You've also got divergence on that as well. So that's a good one. Pound odd, stuck down the bottom there. This is the first reversal alert you've had on that one, so it's just retesting right now at 125 ADR. So that looks pretty good. Got a little bit of divergence on it, not massive. Actually, it's very big divergence if you look at the whole move during London. That's a really big divergence. So even if you just took it from there, great divergence there, really bullish. So that's a really nice entry there, pound odd. Really tight stop on that at the moment. You've got like a 10 pip stop and potentially, sky's the limit on it really. 10 to 1 easy. Pound odd looks good. Pound Swiss, again, Swiss franc collapsed. The Swiss franc was weak this morning and obviously, boom, had completely the opposite. So that one's popped down nicely. Pound Swiss, that's already played out. If you took that one at 100 ADR. And all these New Zealands have just hit. So New Zealand dollar CAD. We're up in a... so this is that old sell area from the daily. We can get rid of that. It's all pretty irrelevant now. So this level here... let's get rid of that fib as well. God, I've got to clean up my charts. Absolute mess. So that is the new support resistance potentially. We tapped into that a couple of times and bounced. And again, we just zoom in so we can see what we're doing on that one. So this area here, we rejected that multiple times. backed up into it, pulled back. This is our first retest since we broke. So if market structure is going to continue to the downside, this is a good spot to drop, and we are 125 ADR nearly. So looks pretty good for a little short. New Zealand dollar Swiss. That one's kind of already started. That's the same as the Euro Swiss, really. It's not got as much strength, though, because the New Zealand dollar has been pushing. New Zealand dollar yen and New Zealand dollar US dollar. So that's really still going. Again, weak yen. Very, very, very weak, obviously, US dollar. So if you look at all these yens, apart from that one, because it's new US. So New Zealand yen pushing, pound yen. Pound's been weak, so that is kind of pushing. Euro yen pushing, Swiss yen really pushing, CAD yen not really gone anywhere. So this is not much yen strength out there, basically. So again, this is to do with the US dollar weakening, more money coming out of the yen. So lots of opportunities on those. New York pushed Euro US dollar down the last days, doesn't it? Maybe New York Open will bring it down again. Yeah, possibly. New York Open, we'll have a look at the indices in a minute, but we quite often get the inverse happening on the indices to what we get on the US dollar. So we'll have a push on the US dollar and then the indices will drop. Then the indices will push and the US dollar will drop. So they will quite often do the inverse to each other. So we'll have a look at the indices. There's been quite a lot of movement on them this morning. So the DAX has come down to fill that gap. It's been chopping me to pieces today, this thing. Not been getting on very well with him this morning. US Tech, obviously Nasdaq's gone sideways and the S&P hasn't gone anywhere either. They'll all move. But the Dow has been coming down a little bit during London. It's just starting to sort of find its feet, but it's been coming down with the DAX this morning. So, right, US dollar Swiss. So 4-hour RSI extensions. We've got the US dollar Swiss. Obviously, this is the one we looked at this morning. We did a beautiful liquidity run this morning. So everybody that saw that doji go in and went short and has been doing anything in here to do with short plays, their stops up there and they got taken out this morning. And they basically went, thank you very much, and ran away with it. So this looks like a lovely short. We looked at this morning, didn't we, for a short entry. But it was really hard to get into. So you just literally, that's your entry there. Because it's pushed so hard this morning, it's been virtually impossible to get into the thing. So if you have taken that short, I'd hold it because it's probably coming down. So really nicely extended. We looked at this one. We've been embedded on the 4-hour for a couple of days now. So definitely due a pullback. Be looking for it to come all the way back down to here, really. This is the last down candle. Well, this is the last down candle, but this is where we accumulated before the break, and since the break we haven't stopped. It's been green candles all the way. So this is where I would expect them to come down to, but we need to be aware of that level there and see what happens to price action when we get down there. So they likely will get some reaction down there, but if that closes back down below that level, no reason why you shouldn't come all the way down there. So big weakening of the US dollar potentially. The Canadian as well. We had a really big rejection in London, so we had a nice push up and it's coming down quite nicely at the moment. So all looking good for US dollar shorts. Everything else has gone off the dash pretty much because it's all starting to play out and you're obviously banking everything. So pound Swiss is all coming down nicely. That was nicely extended. Let's go over to the 4-hour. So we looked at this one this morning, didn't we, as a short. Tapped into it and it come straight down basically. Didn't even really give us an opportunity to get more extended. This is the area I was looking for, but didn't get there. And Euro Swiss, obviously we looked at that one this morning for a short. So some of you I know got onto that one. Beautiful accumulation. Support, resistance. So it looks really good. for a short. And obviously Euro, just always short in the Euro. Anytime we get anywhere near the 24, it's shortable. Hasn't quite got, I mean, it got up there nicely. Have I got Euro Swissy? No. Yes, I have Euro. Oh no, that's running on COT. Didn't manage to get into that, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's good. So loads of RSI extensions, some really good opportunities this morning. Nothing groundbreaking, but as I say, everything that we've been getting into over the last week is all playing out now. So we have to wait for the RSIs to reset and then obviously get into new opportunities. Hourlies, we had a couple of hourlies this morning. Those have all kind of played out. The only thing we've got at the moment is Aussie dollar CAD, which is to the moon at present. So this is just coming up into this accumulation at the moment. So we will get some kind of reaction there. We're 125. So we need to just wait for this Aussie dollar to stick the brakes on, which it looks like it's doing with the Swissy and the New Zealand, but the rest not so much. So what's the CAD been doing today? Yes, we've had a weak CAD today as well. Which hasn't helped matters with the Aussie CAD. Strong Aussie and a weak CAD. Obviously, this has just pushed this higher than the rest, which is why we've hit ADR a lot stronger on this one than we have on the others. So pretty good. So yeah, not an awful lot set up really for this afternoon. Has anybody got any specific pairs they want to have a look at? But there's nothing much really setting up at the moment. Aussie CAD. If that continues to push, that'd be a really nice short. It's already a nice short, obviously, based on ADR at 150. But if we can get up to this area, mind you, we're kind of tapping into it now, aren't we? This is the thing with support resistance. You know, it's an area, same as supply and demand. It's an area. So you can see, obviously, where this has been reactive multiple times in the past. We've had a few instances where we've just kind of tapped into this level. We've accumulated at this level. We've respected it a few times. We've tapped into it again. So this is the kind of balance, if you like, the accumulation, this whole area, and this is the bottom of it that we're tapping into at the moment. So really good rejection point. So looking on lower time frames, M5, you're just about to get a reversal alert on that one. And it's putting in a fairly nice looking potential M if we get that, and then obviously drop to. It's difficult. You can't really pick a decent support resistance. This is probably the most realistic level, but I mean that's still massively high. It's roughly half an ADR to get down to there, so I think this has got a lot further to drop than that. But yeah, so Aussie dollar CAD looks like a nice one. Nobody's got anything else to look at particularly now. So we'll have a look at the indices. So the Dow came straight off of the top today in Asia, so we went straight up, tapped into that and bounced off. Bullish price action going in at the moment. We're just in this area here where we had a big strong push up and we pulled back into there, and it looks like we're finding some buyers, but it's not particularly convincing for the last few hours. The DAX as well has done, it's just kind of chopped for the last hour. I was doing all right on that pullback and I made a little bit of profit, and then I just got chopped to bits. I'm about 250 down today so far, dollars. I think it's something like that. Yeah, 247 down today. So got some catching up to do this afternoon. So looking at the indices and where we are with these guys. So this morning we've pushed up on S&P and on the NASDAQ, and we've kind of rejected those highs. So it's a difficult one to call today. We've had very, very, very little movement in London, so there isn't a lot of clues today as to where we're going to go. London pushed high and pulled back to pretty much the open. So we closed and opened here. So we're really not far away from it. We got 6 minutes to go to the open. So there's no directional clues today. We've had the vast majority of days previous that we've been looking at. We've had really opposites happening. So if London had a down day, New York had an up day. London had an up day, New York had a down day. London up, New York down. London down, New York up. I can't really call what today is at the moment. So it's difficult. But based on the fact that this is what happened in last week's earnings, and that's exactly what we've got ahead of us, very, very similar earnings calls to what we've had for the last week, I can only imagine we're probably just going to rotate for the entire week, which to me would favour the downside today on that. So difficult, very difficult one to call from a directional bias for the day on both of these. So we will see, but we're tapping right up into these highs. So these this level that I drew in from this lovely, this was our first massive rejection of the sell-off. That's kind of where I'm assuming we're going to try and hold and accumulate. And when we break out of one of those, obviously that's when I think we'll be off either for the recovery or for the collapse, whichever one of those is going to happen. But obviously with the moving averages, I've said it many times, what happens with moving averages is either price pulls back to the moving average and bounces off of it, or price accumulates and waits for the moving average to come down on top before pushing it down, if we're going to continue in the existing trend. At the moment, it doesn't look like we're pulling back to the 24. So if you extrapolate this out a week of accumulation, that's when I think we're going to get it. So I think I'm going to play rotational this week on these and see what happens. But we have just had a reversal alert on it, but it's it's marginal. On Friday we just went up and we've rejected. So this could be the start of a nice rally for all we know. But this afternoon will tell us. So we'll see. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do today. Whether I'm going to trade futures or whether I'm just going to try and get my CFD account up. I've got both open. So we can do either, but I'm not really sure what I want to trade today. So I'm still thinking. I've been thinking about it for the last hour, and I can't really decide what I want to trade. Anybody got any preference? I can scalp on here, or we can scalp on futures. But I'm undecided. I'll let you decide. What shall I trade today? How shall I trade? And what shall I trade? How does the H4M15 mean reversion work? What do you mean? How does the M15 and H4 mean reversion work? And the H1M5? You mean with the EA? It's all covered in the blog post. It's my normal strategy. You've been in here long enough. You should know my strategy. When RSI gets extended, I jump in on the lower time frame. That's it. Yeah. It's all covered in the blog post. This one. I'll put the link in the chat for you. But yeah, H4M15 strategies all explained in there. It's the Boocamp. You've been through the Boocamp. Why are you asking that question? You know how it works. Scalp CFDs. Okay, scalping CFDs we are. What am I going to scalp? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? US 30. Dow. Should I do the Dow? Yeah, let's do the Dow. Or should we do the... I don't know what to do. I don't know what to scout. I'm really undecided today. Let's do NASDAQ. Why not? Let's do the NASDAQ. Keep an eye on the S&P. Scout the NAS. I'm not sure about my... hang on a minute. I'm not sure my scalping settings on CFDs. Crikey. So it needs to be 40. 80. Okay. Personally, I'm watching for opportunities to go long on S&P to address my 2 open positions. Yeah. If you've got open positions, then yeah, go for those, definitely. Why is simple order panel not working? It's because I've changed. Okay, we're going long. Dow, US 30, high all. Oh, so you want me to trade the Dow? I can trade the Dow. They're all going to do the same thing anyway, so I mean, doesn't matter which I trade really. Oh, Dow's coming down. Oh my god. Just lost a load more, 150. I've got the EA running. I've got an EA running basically, which is auto scalping the opening range breaks for me, which didn't do very well this morning either. It's one of those days today. You're going to see a losing day today. I can feel it in my bones. Let me just watch the... I'm going to watch the NASDAQ as well. Okay, so coming down fairly hard at the open. What's that simple panel trade tool? It's just called Simple Panel. It's called Simple Order Panel. It's just an EA for trades, basically. I'll show you when I take a trade. It's basically, it kind of replicates a quick order panel in futures, basically. Oh, it's pretty erratic at the open. So it's big opening range candle. Why have I got that as a wrong time frame? Just get out of the way for a minute. Okay, buying one. Just basically seeing if we're going to just take a double bottom off these lows and go for a run for the highs, which doesn't look like we necessarily are at the minute. NASDAQ's doing a similar thing. just accumulating down here. Lots of orders. You can see there's tons and tons of volume coming in at the minute, just being accumulated down here. So the buyers are accumulating all the sellers. Adding one more. Might get a run for the highs. One or two things I think is going to happen today. Buy one more. I think we're going to either rotate, or we are going to start this pullback up to the 24 on the dailies. So if that is the case, this is a textbook double bottom bounce, opening range break to the high, and run. Basically, we haven't had a run a day literally for 2 weeks. And I just think we're overdue a run a day, basically, where we just go and put in a really big day. Market's so overdue it, but you never know. Just gonna bring my stops up. Got 75 points at the minute. I'm just going to close. I shut that. I don't think I'm going to get that. I haven't got the margin for that, I don't think. 6 long, 7 long. I don't think I got the margin for that. So I'm going to take that one off. This is placed with my EA that I'm testing. And I'm going to put a manual one on up there. Well, what if I TP? Gosh, jeez. I don't want to get TP there. I'm going to go for the break, basically. If we get the break and we get the pop, we're going to shoot out the top pretty quick. So I just want to bank it if it does. Oh, I've just TP'd on one. Did I just TP on one of those orders? Oh, I did. Oh. That's annoying. Okay, I'm going to buy the opening range break, and then I'm just going to bring my stops up, hopefully to cover break even. So this is a bit of a gamble trade, this. We're either going to take this high and go, or we're going to bounce off this high and rotate. So this either works or it doesn't. High risk, high reward. Buying one at the top. Dragging the stops up. And we're getting stuck at the top there. Just getting ready to close this out. If we get a bear candle in, we've got tweezer tops forming on the Dow, closing it out. Okay, well that's done. That's a little bit of impact done. Made $200 odd there on the open. Don't like these tweezer tops at these highs. So if we are going to go into a rotation, rotational day should be down. But we might have another crack at those highs. So this is the initial open. So Nasdaq needs to break out of there. Still looking fairly strong. Nice candle on the Dow. So I'm just going to wait and see if we get a pullback. So look at a pullback, basically back down there. and see if we get this market structure. So we got new high formed basically. So got low, high, looking for a new low, higher low. We might just come off of here. Might try one along here. No. Nasdaq's still pushing, so it's up at new, just trying to crack new highs. If that gets through there, the Dow should probably go with it. So struggling. Okay, going along one, got bullish engulfing and two nice wicks. And the Nasdaq's just broken new highs. Added one more. I don't like the spread on this. Spread's really big on this Dow. Much bigger than the DAX. Okay, new highs in. Let's bring my stops up. This is why I use this trade panel basically. Obviously just limiting my downside constantly. I want to dragging my stops up. And if I get all positions in profit with a decent push high, I move all stop lots to break even and just protect the entire position and then just run them basically. Just looking for, at the moment, sort of 100 points. I stopped out on one. Brought that up a bit too quick. Nice wicks going in still. I'm just going to add that position back on again. We're just holding these wicks, are holding. Just want to break these highs. Really need to close above here. Just follow the NAS up. Pulled that up a bit too quick. It cost me 40 quid. Dollars. Okay, NAS is running. Added one more. Whoa. Jeez. God, this is erratic today. This is the biggest opening moves we've had for a while, isn't it? It's a lot of volume coming through today. Almost feels like we're back to where we were before that hideous drop. This one's struggling. Still looking really bearish over here on the Dow. Don't like the look of this. No. Just holding those lows. No. No, out. Not holding that. It's going to be one of those days today.
Difficult to tell what we're doing here. This is obviously looking bearish and bullish, but I think this just needs to come down a bit more, I think, to get that momentum to go higher. The NAS is really just struggling up there. The S&P will be doing the same thing, I'd expect. Yeah, just struggling after that initial push. Selling pressure coming through. Okay, 5-minute candles closed. It's 2 dojis. So we haven't gone anywhere yet. Just basically accumulating positions ready for a push in one way or the other. What'll it be? No, this is coming down a little bit. We're trying. Oh, it's a lot of movement. It's actually exciting for a change. What does everybody think today then, indices wise? Long, short? We haven't gone anywhere this morning, so kind of a coin flip, isn't it? So 15-minute opening range is in, and we're kind of pushing highs. So 15-minute opening range is basically the highs, and we're above them. So kind of like to see a bit of a pullback. We're getting the pullback now on the Dow. A little bit of a pullback in here and then a push. Hi, Nomad Trader from Brazil. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so looking to test this wick here, see if we can get a pullback into that. And then a bounce out of there. Grow small accounts is long. Yeah, I have to. I don't know. Really undecided today. Just going to let the market tell me which way it fancies going. I kind of am long biased, but that's, I think, because psychologically I'm always long biased on indices. And it's hard to break that long bias. Even after the drop we've had, it's hard to not look at the drop we've had and say, right, well, yeah, we've had a drop. Now we're due a pop. But that's just the way I'm used to working. So based off the 4-hour time frame, long. Yeah, nice support on the S&P and the Nasdaq. Got nice support on the 4-hour. Nice bullish engulfing. Moved us up there on Friday, but we got nowhere today, you see. So where we are right now, it is a coin flip. There's no, not really any directional bias. And we've got quite a strong support coming up as well, resistance. Okay, so we wicked down. We didn't quite get down to touch that wick. Indices lower today. You ready for tomorrow's buy in by the fund boys? Yep. Another valid point. It's very difficult, isn't it? Very difficult to call today. This is kind of why I've been chopped around today. I've had very mixed directional biases on all the indices this morning. Even from the open, the DAX looked like it was coming straight down for a gap fill. Then it went up and accumulated for about half an hour to an hour, and then it did the gap fill. Just like nothing. Even it's not sure which way it wants to go. Damn, I have no idea. I've been consistently wrong, so I've given up guessing. Yeah. There's no point in guessing. Yes, no, you're absolutely right in what you say. It is a guess. Nobody knows where it's going. When you hit that button, you're either right or wrong, and it's how you maximise on your rights and your wrongs, which is how you make the money. But yeah, real chop, real chop. Look at these wicks. Look at the size of these wicks. Like, real indecision today. Tons of indecision. DAX is the Nasdaq's coming down. So this is the opening range high, 15-minute opening range high. So we've basically rejected the highs. Do I use the economic calendar? Yeah, I use Forex Factory. So I use Forex Factory for economic news, and ii.co.uk for earnings. Okay, Nasdaq's still coming down. Dow's trying to push. High from is that Bogota? Fanor? Bogota? Tempted to take a long then. So going one long on the Dow. It's the first bullish engulfing, decent bullish engulfing we've had. We are pulling back on the initial push. Too much of a chop fest. Cool. Yeah, there's too much of a chop fest at the minute. Am I using the influence of the Dow Jones opening? Not quite sure what you mean there. The Dow's open strong, so yeah, I'm bullish at the open. Adding one more long. So I'm looking for basically market structure. Yeah, so we got, there's the low, there's the high, higher low. So now I'm looking for a higher high to be put in. Adding one more. I'm looking for a pop. Basically, when we break these highs, I'm looking for a pop, basically, to give us some momentum going up. Modifying my TPs up. Bringing stops up. Break even. 142. Nasdaq still pushing. Okay, taking those off. Got 200 points. Banking that. Nice little pop. Anyone waiting for a sell on Aussie CAD, Alec? Yeah, Aussie CAD's been, yeah, definitely. Definitely waiting for a sell on Aussie CAD. I think this thing's absolutely exhausted. Okay, so market structure's in. Low, high, higher low, higher high. So looking for a pullback into support or a decent pullback into this area with some bullish price action to go long. Assuming we get some. US dollar yen. Say hello to Emmanuel. He's on live. Hello, Emmanuel. I don't know who Emmanuel is. Now we're moving. Yeah, market structure always wins. Always wins. So I'll just resize my windows. I've been mucking about my windows. Nasdaq's still pushing. Has the strategy switched up since the old live rooms? No, strategy's still the same. This is different. This is indices. So that was my chair. That noise wasn't me. Yeah, no, strategy's all still the same, Sammy. This is just something new that I'm doing, scalping. Scalping on basically, I got a futures account. I don't know if you know, I got funded on Apex. I got a 100k funded account on Apex for futures. So I'm trading that with a Renko strategy. And this is basically just pure price action scalping at the moment. Still looks very similar. Well, it's all market structure. Market structure is present on every time frame in every market. Fart to win, yeah. That was my chair. I can do it again, look. I can do it on demand, so it proves it's not me. I just don't want to get left away on a runaway day. I'm tempted to get in one, but we're still in an inside bar at the moment. It's not quite far enough pullback. But it might just go. Nasdaq's going. I'm going to go one long. I'm going to take a chance on this one. I'm just going to... just in case, if we break this high, I've got a feeling we're going to potentially put in a strong sort of half-hour move maybe today. Typical. Nas is now starting to weaken. I don't like the look of that. I want that to pull back further. I want to come back down to the 20 or the 50, I think. I'm looking to slowly get back into it. Not full time, though. Higher time frames. H4, M15. Daily. 4 hourly. It's your best bet. Play the longer term moves. 4 hour RSI extensions still work beautifully. Let's see what the others are up to. DAX is pushing nicely. S&P obviously doing very similar to the NAS. Difficult. This is difficult to trade today. It's not. Didn't make it down to that support. Didn't react. Didn't react anywhere. Just gone today. The NAS. It's going again now. Buying one on the Dow. basically just come out of this area. Where's my drawing tools gone? Oh. Different platform. Oh, this is going to draw a lovely bright blue triangle. Buying another one, Daz. Daz. I'm buying on the Daz now. Made a new indice up. Oh, it's moving too fast. I can't draw. Okay, bring the stops up. I've only got 2 on this, unfortunately. Okay, starts to break even. I'm going to close one out there. Break even on the second. I'll let this one run. If it runs, it runs. If not, it come back. Take me out and I'll get in again. Putting TP up at the high. Aussie dollar CAD is coming down. Excellent. That will probably mean Euro US dollars going up as well. We're starting to get some reversal. Oh, no, it's not. It's still coming down. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it should be coming down. Sorry. Oh, wrong chart. Yeah, it's starting to roll over now. Aussie dollar CAD coming down nicely. So reversal alert on that one on M5 is going to be here. So that'll be your entry short on it. Struggling up at the highs. NAS is still going though, so might get a bit more movement. Okay, just breaking, we're just trying to break this level here. It's very strong support. So this level needs to crack. Probably take a breather here. Just get ready to close this. I'm going to close it out. I've got 80 points. That takes me back positive for the day, so I'm back. I can take a breather now. Back to break even. Looking for a pullback now in the continuation. Somewhere in there, or to the 20, or 2050 really. Afternoon, I've been back testing a lot at the weekend on higher time frames. Mean reversion on a number of pairings seems very reliable with low drawdown. H1 daily. Yeah, H1 daily is not a time frame that I have actually back tested at all really, because I don't trade that sort of slower time frame. So, but that's more of a swing time frame H1 daily. And obviously, the higher the time frame you go, the more you're going to get reliability of your signals. So, you know, M5 is a lot more choppy than M15, which is a lot more choppy than hourly, which is a lot more choppy than 4 hourly, so on and so forth. So the higher you go, the less signals you're going to get, the less earning potential you're going to get, but the more reliable and the less drawdown you're going to receive. So it's a balancing act, really. But yeah, you will be more reliable than H4M15, and H4M15 max drawdown per pair typically is 15%. So it's usually a lot less than that, obviously, but really that's all it goes up to. Unless you're being squeezed dramatically, but just cracked last week's high on the S&P. Excellent. Yeah, so I imagine it has, because it's we can see the NAS flying. Yeah, so we've cracked it. Now we've got to hold it. And that's the difficulty. We've cracked it multiple times, haven't we? Yeah, we've cracked it. Well, that's not really a crack, is it? We touched it. Well, we cracked it there, rejected. We pushed up, looked like we were going to crack it, rejected. Pushed up, stopped. This is the first time we're above. We've got to hold this. We've got to hold this candle, yeah, because this could... How many times has this done this to us in the last couple of weeks? Yeah. Promise we're going higher. Promise we're going higher. No, promise we're going higher. No, promise we're going higher. No, promise we're going... It's just the story of our life at the moment. Promise I'm going to break the highs. Just don't trust it. I really just don't trust it in a minute. But this is looking way more positive than we've had for some time, isn't it? From a price action perspective. So let us hope this is it. Holly, had a rough day. Luckily, I can catch the live sessions now. Cool. You've had a rough day? I thought you were up, Chris. Your last P&L you showed me was $600 in profit. Wasn't it? But hey, that's what happens, isn't it? That's trading. Concentrate and focus on the process, and the money will look after itself. Well, that was amazing, Lee. Thank you, Jacob. What, I'm assuming you're talking about my trading. I don't. There's a bit of a delay in the stream, so I'm not quite sure what you're saying. What's amazing? The fact that this has moved so high, that might be amazing. This is amazing. The fact that the NAS is actually going up, that's amazing. And we haven't got any earnings today. Toying with the idea of potentially taking one. I'm going to wait for this candle to close. There's not much of a pullback, but also not looking like it wants to pull back. The NAS is certainly not interested in pulling back, so contemplating just trying along, but I want to see this bullish first. I'm not going to jump in just because it's up there. Probably could have taken that, but I want to see a bit more oomph. It's a technical term, that oomph. Bloody hell, look at this. Nice. S&P 20 minutes solid up. NAS through the roof. We're just hitting a level. I don't know where that's from. A level I've drawn in the past. We're hitting it anyway. NAS is pushing again. That's going to go, that Dow. Oh, I feel like I'm chasing this. I don't want to chase it. Buying one at the highs. Risky. We're either going to pop and we're going to push like we did here. So we're either going to get there and we're going to slam, or we're going to double top and I'm going to regret it. One or the other. Buy close, buy close, buy close, buy close. Indecision. That's not a very convincing pop, is it? There we go. Oh, I should have bought. Never mind. Very, very shallow pullback on that move. I'd be surprised if that's even... Oh no, it's a 38. Did pull back 38. Just about. Don't trust this up here. Running out of steam. Closing. Don't like that. Okay, so looks like we're just starting a little bit of a pullback on the NAS. Potentially. I'm going to go into a slow, horrible grind now. Just approaching a little bit of potential resistance up here. Market just feels like it needs to pull back. Just want to wait for that pullback. So basically looking similar trend to what I rode this morning. Can't really see that, can you? So literally just nice, orderly pullbacks until we get to where we're finishing. But we're not even deep at the moment, so I want to see some kind of pullback down to here, really. Otherwise, we're kind of chasing price up here a little bit, which is, as you saw a minute ago, quite easy just to get stopped out fast. Take your stops. Every stop I enter, and you see me do this in the futures as well when I'm scalping. When I enter a futures contract, I don't use a stop. I just basically get in and then I get out. But you see the stops that I'm putting in here are 40 pips basically. But I very rarely get them hit. So like that one there where I got in, and then my stop was down here somewhere. I can't remember where the stop was, but as soon as that happens, I'm out. I hit the button. Don't let it take that. If it's starting to look dodgy, I'm out. Totally minimizing risk because it can build very, very, very quickly. I'd rather not get stopped out. I'd rather just exit. And if this flies, it flies. I'll catch the next bit. But at the moment, we are not interested. I'm going higher. Now we are. So we've got this little pause candle on M5, which typically we tend to see a little bit of downward movement, but staying as an inside bar before we push off again. But we're just not. We're just grinding. So it's just a grindy day. I'm going to try one up here in case we get a run up to that high. They might just run up and double top. We have just made new highs, so Naz is putting in a nice little tail. So that's had a pullback already. Come on. One way or the other, make your mind up. S&P's pushing. So the NAS is faltering a little bit. The S&P's got a little bit more legs. Just wanted to see what the difference was between those two. Just going to hold off the bottom of this candle. Actually, might as well just adjust my stop up. I'll let that get taken out there. If it's not going to go. I'll get out. I would have got out anyway, but it's not going anywhere. We need a pullback. Potentially, we need a fairly decent one. somewhere. Okay, remind me no, actually, I'm not going to do that. I was going to put a pending in there. I was going to say, remind me I'm putting a pending order in there, but I'm not going to do that because that's really stupid. Because I will forget I've put a pending in there. Just think we're going to pull back on the NAS. I'm just looking for where we're potentially going to pull back to. 4580 area looks good. S&P, guess is as good as mine on that. So 45.76 on Renko is where we put in the pullback, which is there, sort of around this area here. So somewhere around there. 45.77. Would be helpful if I used the right chart. Yeah, so it's the area I've got marked basically. It's in here. Ugh, it's just going again. Not chasing it. It's another thing to put on your screen. Do not chase price. Remember those little the symbol and time frame on chart. Do not chase price. It's another one I used to have in my chart. Wait for the candle to close. Do not chase price. Buy on pullbacks. Just trying to think of other things I've put on my chart over the years. Oh yeah, another big one. Trade your own charts. Stop looking at other people's charts. Look at your charts. That was a big one. What's everybody else doing? Oh, do what they do. Don't follow the crowd. 95% of them are wrong. Okay, pushing higher again. I should have just stayed in there, shouldn't I, from there? But NAS is going again. I've just written it on there, and I was just about to hit the buy button. Should have chased price. Okay, we're coming up into this resistance on the 5-minute chart. So this is the high of the day. The amount of times I've been roasted doing that, Adrian says, yeah. Chasing price. Or following other people's charts. Or any of them. Wait for the candle to close. So many things. They all hurt. Let me just zoom in so I can see M5. We are ticking above. I got a feeling this might pop. NAS is popping. I'm going to take one. This is a risky one. He who dares wins. But NAS is going. So we've got every chance. There's momentum on the S&P as well. I'm just watching that on my other monitor, so I'm not psychic. I'm just watching it on another monitor. Okay. So this is why you don't chase price. Sell it. Yeah, I'm getting close. So I'm just looking for a wick test here. I'm either going to get the wick test like that, and we're going to pop from that, or we're going down. So we're going down by those things. No, there's the wick test. No. No, this one is going to do me stop, I think. Just got to be a little bit careful. I'm always very cautious of double tops because you get a lot of slippage. If you get a load of sellers entering up here, you get a load of slippage and your stops don't get held, and you suddenly realise your $50 loss turns into a $75 loss because of slippage. There you go. Good lesson. There you go. You heard it here first. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, stopped out. Right, let's see if we're going to get a pullback here or we are going to get a bounce. So, long term. We're obviously in a rotation at the moment. And we're accumulating. So, as I said at the beginning of the session, this is where we would rotate back down from if we're going to be and stay in a rotation. Otherwise, we're going to pull back and break. And then if we break these highs, there's loads of room to the upside. NAS is still looking fairly strong. This is pulling back nicely. Wait to see what price action we get at the end of this candle. Would you mind explaining a little bit about slippage? So yeah, basically when you place an order in the market, that is the level that you would like to be filled at. Yeah. So if I say I want to get out here, say the double bottom here, right? 34,742.7. So if I say I want to get out here and I put an order in the market there, what will happen is as long as there is, I'm going to basically join a queue. So I don't know if you're familiar with a ladder. There's a ladder basically of orders. It's like an auction. And this is constantly going up and down and getting filled with orders. If I place my order here and I am number 295 in the queue, and they get down to here and they fill 294 orders, and then all of a sudden everybody else here pulls their orders out and the next order price available is down here, that is where I will get my order filled. So I will slip down, my order will automatically slip down and get filled down at that level. When you have a big injection of volume, so let's say for example, I haven't got a ladder, have I? No, I haven't got a ladder on here. I can show you. This is the ladder basically. So every one of these is a level, price level. So let's say for example there is sorry, bear with me one sec. No. Just seeing if this price action is going to hold. Don't know. Maybe it is. No, it's bearish. Right, yeah, sorry. So, say for example, there's 300 contracts there, 300 there, 300 there, etc., 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 and there's like another 300 down here. What happens is, if, for example, somebody comes in and sells short for 2,500 contracts, right? What will happen is they will take all that, and then some, yeah, in one go. So they'll place one massive order for 2,500 contracts, and you'll see a candle will suddenly go boom, like that. If your order is here, yeah, chances are you won't get that filled because this guy's buying up 2,500 contracts short, so you'll get filled down here somewhere. That's slippage. And there's nothing you can do, especially at the open. So when you get the open, and we get these massive moves at the open. Where's the open? Here. Yeah, so you see the size of this candle. This candle here was 824 ticks. Everything before it was like 200, 170, 140, 115. And then we suddenly went bang. And this lot all happened in 1 minute. Massive volume comes through. It's hard to get filled at the price you want to when that happens. So hopefully that explains slippage. But it's just part of trading. You can't, everybody gets slippage. Especially when you're scalping on very, very small time frames like M1, you're going to experience a lot more slippage than you will on any other time frame. Because obviously going up to M5 is, 5 times slower. So slippage is much less of a problem at this level than it is at this level. Okay, so we're pulling back down to the 50 on the on the minute chart. NAS is pulling back nicely as well. So obviously options here are to sell, which that double top was a perfect sell opportunity, which is playing out very nicely. But I'm bullish at the minute, so staying bullish for the foreseeable. I don't want to suddenly switch my bias on a pullback because it's dangerous. If you start switching your bias constantly, if I go short bias here and I make one trade good, I'll be constantly looking for that. And what will happen is it will do that. And I'll be like, why on earth did I take a short? Because we're long. So as soon as we get an established trend on potentially what is going to be a trend day, we never know if it is going to be a trend day, but it looks like a trend day at the moment. I want to be looking for long opportunities like that. So buying one. Come on. So thanks. So does the spread then compound the slippage issue even more? Yeah, because you've always got a spread. And you've got that spread to take into account. So you're always going to be a couple of ticks or pips, or 6 pips in this case, behind when you enter. And if you get slipped as well, obviously that's even worse. So yeah, I mean, any time frame above M5 is just doesn't even come into the equation really. Unless you have got a massive news event, then I mean you get slipped at every on every time frame. When the Swiss franc peg was removed back in 2015, whenever that was removed, I can't remember. I never remember dates. I had a stop in place. It went thousands of pips beyond my stop because there was just no liquidity to fill the orders. So you just it's something you have to live with, unfortunately. Okay, let's see if we can get a new high put in here. So looking for this high. Just hovering around a 20 at the minute. Still feels quite heavy, but we are potentially just pulling back in the continuation. So we're kind of flagging more on the NAS than we are on the Dow, because Dow's only got one down candle, but no, I don't like the look of this. Did anyone sell Aussie dollar CAD? I can't really look at it at the minute, but I'm assuming it's still coming down, Alec, is it? Looking like a strong trend, this. If this does hold up, the 50 here, this is going to be a nice, real strong trend day. Still got the potential for it to rotate back down again, though, so tricky level this. Time 3:30. So the market's been open for an hour now. Just want to pop that high. Come on, pop one high. There we go. Buying one more. Price action's holding up, so going long again. So now I've got two positions on. My risk is doubled. So I'm doubly cautious with bearish price action. Obviously, I've got twice as much at stake now. Especially when the market's moving this slow. It's really hard to hold these positions. But just survive that one. Closing out. Jeez. Can't get a break today. Really can't. I must have taken 2,500 trades today. I'm joking. I haven't taken that many. Taken a lot though. Literally just being whipped about like mad today. What I might do. Just going to give my trades a little bit more breathing room. Still like this bullish. We are putting in potentially. We need to break this high. I was looking for that high to get broken, basically, which would give us a potential reversal. We didn't get it. But it is looking like it could potentially, that could be the new low. We've held this level quite nicely. But say we just, flags can go on forever. Did anyone sell Aussie CAD? Let's have a quick look at Aussie CAD. Nice. Still coming down very nicely. Don't want to change the DAX, do I? So one good run. It's going to be one of those days where I'm going to either scrape a break even or scrape a little profit. Or it's going to be one of those horrible days where I make a loss. God forbid. Okay, decent pullback now. So market structure has shifted officially to a bear. Coming down into potential support as well. Okay, we've got some bullish price action coming in. Back at these lows again. So not quite got down to where I want to be yet. It's going to whack a fib on the... What time's that? That's the open, isn't it? So that's the move so far today. We're just coming down to the 38 retracement. So it's 38 to 50 kind of level. If we are going to continue and have an update today, potentially we're going to want to hold price here or obviously make a new high. So this is where I would expect us to start looking for some price action down here. Obviously we can pull all the way back down to this area of support resistance, which just happens to be the 61.8. So I'm going into slightly smaller position sizes now because I've extended my stop and I'm keeping the same risk. So lot sizing will be a little bit smaller. So just be a bit smaller to get gains, but I don't want to keep getting chopped out if I'm wrong, and we are going to do a rotation because I'm still not convinced about this push up. Yeah, look at where we are. Look at what we're doing. Look at where we're potentially going. Okay, got some bullish price action coming in. Just see if we get this closed out bullish. Might be worth a shot. No. So this area here, look. That's the sort of area that I want to look to break. So market structure at the moment is like that. That's where I would expect to get a bounce back down to the downside if we're going to continue down. So kind of looking to get in along here, but I'm going to look at what we do when we get there. So just going to wait and see what happens on this candle. So we've got this propulsion candle here. Basically, there's a lot of buying activity. There's a lot of accumulation there, and obviously this is where we had that big push. So this area here is what's going to get defended by the buyers. So anybody that's entered a long position and is holding at the moment is going to want to defend this area. So looking for some bullish price action in here. The reason I've extended my stops is I want to get in and want to be able to actually have a bit of room for them to sort of battle it out down here. Story of that accumulation, look, on the Nasdaq, just not gone anywhere. We've hardly drawn any Renko. We've gone down like 5 Renko. We're just this is a perfect flaglet. It's all looking bullish. I bet if we stick an RSI on this, there's probably some divergence on there as well. Whoa, not the RSI dashboard. That won't work. So no divergence at the moment. Have got bear divergence though. It's kind of flat though. I don't really like flat divergence. I'd like it to be like that if it's proper bear divergence. But okay, poised, ready to go long. Strong level. Got some wicks starting to form on the NAS. It's buyers stepping in. Okay, going long one. So just rejected off that wick there. Nice rejection on the NAS. Got a lovely hammer, second hammer on the trot on the Dow, gone in. We've just wick tested perfectly this level here, that wick, and rejected. So see if we get a little bit more of a push down into there and then a push off. Okay, buying one more. Or, failing that, let's just have a bullish engulfing and let's just go, shall we? Even better. That's a fib. I'm trying to grab a support line that's actually a fib. Oh, no, that's an order. Buy one more. Just draw a new line. It's just much easier. Okay, want to break that level. So we're a critical area for market structure here. So if we're going to continue down, this is potentially the pullback. If we're going to go up, we need to break that level. £100 points profit, but lower lot size. We are respecting that level at the minute. So if we get a break above that level in the next 30 seconds, we should then come up and hopefully challenge these highs. If. Just going to bring my stops up. Just in case. So these are more emergency stops than anything. Just in case we get a massive dump order come in, I want to make sure I'm out with the minimum damage possible rather than letting it get down to original stops all the way down there somewhere. Okay, so we're breaking those highs. How much have I got? 116. Now as he's approaching new highs. Holding. $147.39. Okay, I've got tweezer tops potentially going in there. I'm just going to take that off. Stick it in the bank. Wait for a pullback. Just in case. If this is obviously quite a dangerous spot. So we are showing signs of rejection there. So just take it off, put it in the bank. If it carries on, fine, and we break that level, then I'll jump in on a pullback. Euro New Zealand just took off like a rocket, up or down? Up. What's that? New Zealand dollar? That's New Zealand dollar weakness again. New Zealand dollar selling off. Stuck. Still like the look of this. Just real 3 minutes of indecision here. We're not sure about this direction at the minute. This level that I drew in a minute ago is really, really strong. Just trying to crack it, basically. Sellers one out. So see if we can get a pullback on this. So this was a perfect 50 bounce on the day's move so far. Nice bullish rejection on that. We can see if we can get a bit deeper on this. At the moment, this is looking like it's continuation short. Okay, nice deep pullback there. So I've just done the 50% retracement. So see if we can find some buyers here, or whether or not this is going to continue. If so, looking for this level down here. We've got this move here that started, which is where we found the buyers last time. So if we are going to continue down, that'll be where it is. That looks. We've got two nice big wicks there, so it's looking fairly bullish at the minute. I need a bullish candle though. I need something bullish. What's happening to the Forex market? Is it all going mad? Is it? Oh, bye bye Aussie. Bye bye Aussie. Bye bye New Zealand. That looks like the Swiss franc. Yeah, bye bye Swiss franc. Canadian dollar. What's the time? 4 o'clock. It's not news. We've had the news. Yeah, just New Zealand and Aussie Just lots of movement basically. Okay, buying one. Looking for a break above that high to add a second position. NAS is just making new highs on the day. S&P, I imagine, will be doing the same thing. Not quite. S&P's not got there yet. Got another 50 pips to go on the S&P. Dow's half asleep. Okay, let's have a nice big bullish engulfing. You've had your little pullback. See if we can get this run going again. And as is trying really hard, we've got 2.5 minutes on that candle. Trying really hard to make new highs at the minute. If it breaks those new highs, we've got a good chance of pushing further, which will obviously spur the rest on. S&P is struggling a little. It's a good entry on the NAS there. Okay, if we can break these highs, we should be off. We should hopefully go for a new high of the day. It's 1.5 minutes left for the NAS to see if that can put that new high in. Struggling. It's about to fail here about these lows. If it breaks these lows, sort of this low here where we closed, it's where we're sort of sitting at the minute. We're just retesting this level over and over again. If that breaks, I'll exit this one. It's just not just sitting there half asleep at the minute. NAS is faltering as well. Got 30 seconds left. Still holding those lows. Okay, NAS is about to make new daily high. It's in. So see if that rallies the market and we get a decent rally off the back of that. Either that or obviously it's just going to assume a double top and pop off from the top. Looks like it wants to go. Oh, this is painful. 10 minutes we've been stuck in this little range now. Off of this high. Aussie CAD's just found a nice little bounce off the bottom of 125. Look, big old drop today, that Aussie. So if you took that Aussie CAD short, might be getting near the time where you want to get out of that. Breaking lows. I'm getting out. It's not going anywhere. So market structure's holding short. NAS is potentially double topping. Oh, it's tough today. Very tough. No momentum. So just basically, I don't mind getting chopped out over and over and over again. The whole purpose of scalping is to get in and catch these, as you saw earlier. When you catch them, that's where you make your money. You catch these little moves. Made $100 on that. Made $300 or $400 on that. If you get chopped out 3 or 4 times for $20, $30, $40, that one that you catch and you ride with multiple positions. Obviously, when I'm getting stopped out, I'm getting stopped out with a single position, and I'm not getting stopped out at full stop most of the time. I'm just getting stopped out with a partial bit. So I'm getting stopped out on one position. When I get into positions and I get into 2 or 3 or 4 positions, when price goes my way, those 4 positions exponentially increase. And you just need that one little push of 5 minutes. And that outweighs that whole lot, and it's gone, and it's profit. It's just obviously when you get these days, which is what I've had all morning on the DAX as well. It's been doing these little runs, and I've been making these little runs, and then we're just getting stuck in these accumulations over and over and over again, where you just can't get any momentum. Should you break even and hold Aussie CAD? Well, if you break even on Aussie CAD, you will get an even. That's what break evens are for. So if you, I guarantee if you move your stop to break even now, right? Did you get in on the reversal alert? So you got in there probably, didn't you? So what will happen now is you'll move your stop to break even, and price will continue to go down, but to continue to go down, it's got to pull back. So what it will do is it will pull back and retest and then drop. It will take you out, and then it will go your way. So up to you. What I would do is, if you're happy with the profit, take that off. If it pushes back up to there, get in again. So that goes in the bank. If it collapses, never mind. You've got something in the bank. If it pulls back, you get a second bite of the cherry, and you get the opportunity to ride the proper wave and put that in the bank as well. So that would be what I would do. Aussie CAD, yeah, it's a downtrend. So, you know, if you, I mean, I don't know how long you've been in here, Alec, but what I feel about break-even stops is they are there to break even. And 90% of the time, if you use a break-even stop, that's exactly what you will get, a break-even. because the way the market works, the market moves in waves. So if you enter on a down wave and go to break even, you will exit on the up wave, miss the second leg. Yeah, break even stops. It's the worst thing you can do. If you've got a lot of risk on, I use break even stops all the time, and I'll use a break even stop if, as you see here, stop loss to break even. I use them if I've got position on. If I've got 5 longs on, that is when I will move to break even, because one slippage candle or one big propulsion candle against me can be the difference between me losing $300 to $500. So that's when I use my break evens. If I've just got one position on, I'm expecting it to pull back. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I'm fully expecting it to pull back, because that's what I want the market to do. Market structure. As long as it's doing market structure, it's really easy. So you want it to pull back. So if you get in there, expect that. If you're right, that's exactly what will happen. So if you move to break even, exactly what you want to happen happens. You will just get exited from your position. So, but it could just push again. Nobody knows. This is the thing. This is what makes trading so difficult. Every time you get into a position that goes against you, you have a choice to make, either to get out or to let it hit your stop. Every time you get into a position that goes into profit, you've got a choice to make, whether to get out or whether to break even or whether to leave it alone. There is no right or wrong answer. That's what makes it so difficult. There is not a, if this happens, then do that, because the next time that happens, something different will happen and you won't get what the result was in the first time. Yeah. So I was expecting market structure to continue exactly as I planned, which it did. But then it did it again. So it will do what it needs to do. But I know break-even stops, they're death by 1,000 cuts. All stops are. Stops, that's what stops are. My stops are emergency stops. As you can see, I try and get out of them before they get anywhere near my stop. It's an emergency. It's like, oh my God, that's collapsed. Buying one. I'm getting out. That's literally what they should really be used for. Because that's what they're there for. The whole market, if you've watched my video in the Bootcamp about how the market moves on stops, pending stops, buy stops, sell stops, all stops in the market, all positions in the market are either a stop or a pending order. The market basically accumulates and hoovers pending orders and stop losses until it's got enough in its bank account to go, right, if I go long, I'll make X. Bang, then it moves. Yeah. So by placing, if you got in long there, and then move to break even, they came down and took that out, you go and get crossed because it moves up. That's because you use a stop loss. You're powering the market. Think of it like the petrol of the market. Every stop position, every pending order is petrol. And that's what it uses to propel itself. What we do is we accumulate when it's accumulating, and when it propels, we get in more. If you're scalping, obviously. Totally different strategy to mean reversion. And we're still accumulating. See, the equivalent of a stop loss order here would be to move it up to there. That's what I'm expecting price to do. Come back and retest the top of that candle and go. So that is the equivalent of a stop loss in this particular case. If I wanted to secure this order and put a tiny stop on it, I'd put it below that low because it's likely to come and retest that wick. Because we've got a propulsion candle and there's a load of buyers in here. So the sellers will want to come back and test it again. Thought that was going to be it then. NAS is putting a nice hammer in at the moment. We're dojiing on the Dow still. S&P putting a hammer. Still got loads of wicks to the upside though. It's like really still bears are strong. I'm going to try one more at these highs of this wick. If we get there. Ugh. Really feels like we've run out of steam at the minute. We're approaching, what's the time? 2 hours. We're 11:30, aren't we? So we're approaching lunch. See if we can get one more move before their lunch bell goes. Okay, so that's retested that candle now. So it's either going to hold or it's not. Barely. No. Closing. Don't like it. I think I might call it a day there. If I keep doing this all afternoon, I'm just literally going to hemorrhage. Not going to catch along on this at the minute. There's no momentum in the market at all. Still coming down, Aussie CAD. Just trying to put a little bearish reversal in there. Literally just getting wicked out constantly. There's not enough movement to get out, and it's just painful to trade. So I shall probably take a hit on this one today, although that's looking really nicely bullish now, I say that. Let's see if we get a 3-bar reversal in here, because we have just put in a nice double bottom there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll wait halfway through this candle, and I will take a calculated risk on that low not getting broken. There. And this being the double bottom that gets us this break of the highs. Either going to work or it's not. At the moment it's not even giving me an entry, so looks like a no. If we get another hammer put in here, I'm going to jump in. Which we're not. No, it's not going today. So, potential today is for a rotation back down again, unfortunately. So the highs have held again. These highs, we're just not able to break out of this. So there's potential, again, same as repeat, basically, of the previous week. Big earnings releases, lots of movement, no movement forward though. So all indices basically doing exactly the same thing at the moment, just struggling at these highs. Every time we crack a high, we basically just crack it and then come back down again. So it's looking like the same sort of thing happening. It's kind of tempting to hit the sell button on this. at the moment, but especially on the NAS. So we had a really good strong push, but we've had this again, haven't we? We've had this strong push, and then we have the afternoon collapse. We have the strong push, the afternoon collapse. Yeah, we keep getting it, and we are exactly there right now. So a critical afternoon this afternoon. It's really tempting to sell this. Where we are at the moment, it is looking really heavy, but at the moment there's no movement. We're literally chopping. Tough. So that flag's broken, but we haven't got the follow through. Look at that. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to go for it. I got a feeling we're going to rotate down today. I'm going to leave that stop where it is. That's $50. So that'll take me to 225 down. I'm going to leave that in place. Because if these highs are going to hold and this market structure is going to hold, we're going to put in a new low. And we shouldn't invalidate that high. So that is the level that I'm expecting the buyers to step in at. If they don't, I don't see any reason why we're not just going to rotate again. In which case I can build a nice short position to come down to these lows. This will be my final crack of the day. Selling one more. Just at this low here. We'll see if we get a decent sell-off. Euro Swiss just put in a stop hunt at 225 ADR. I'll have a look at the FX pairs in a sec. Let me just sell one more. Right, so I've sold one at the lows here. So we're either going to reject, pull back and crack that, or we're going to bounce off of here. So this is the level, basically. We're either going to bounce it or we're going to crack it. It's going to be typical, isn't it? It's going to be my day today for getting it wrong. It's going to bounce it. 3 seconds. So we have put in a new low. So if you can just about make out market structure on this, just about. It's the weakest, horriblest market structure in the world ever, but that is where we are. So where this stop is at the minute, I wouldn't want to validate those 3 highs there. If that's going to work, that's going to work. If not, I'll take another $100 on it. It's either going to go or it's not. Bearish divergence on Euro Swiss, 15 minutes during the stop hunt 2. Excellent. Let me just pull a Euro Swiss up. Nice. Yeah, that's coming down beautifully. That Euro Swiss. I love shorting Euro Swiss. It's just the short Euro Swiss. It's a good one. Well, I think I've got the EA on that one. Did we get? I don't know. I haven't got an RSI on this, so I can't really tell. Yes, 30. Looks good. I'll switch over to the other layout in a minute and just have a look at the FX pairs before I disappear. Oh, it's like dishwater, isn't it? It's just bleh. Like dishwater? Like watching paint dry. Dull as dishwater is what I meant. Okay, so I'm 3 short. So a lot more risk on the table. I knew it. It's just not my day today. Okay, so I'm just reducing my stops down to these 3 wicks here. You can just about see these 3 wicks. So this level here, which would also coincide if we are in market structure, this would be roughly where we'd be looking for a pullback drop. If it's going to do a decent deep pullback, that's where I'd be looking for it to get to. This level here. Hopefully it won't get there, and it will just go down. Let's see. Don't want a down day. It's going to ruin my P&L. This will be my first down day for the last week. Don't like down days. Not a green day. We've talked about that band before, why they're called Green Day. It's not because they're traders. Okay, so we're holding up at this little support here where we bounced off of this level at the moment. See if we can hold this. This would be even nicer to hold the 20. If we can hold the 20 and the 50. So don't mind it spiking up into the 50, but if we can hold this 2050 from here, we'll be off to the races to the downside, hopefully. But like I say, I don't like shifting market bias halfway through the day. It's caught me out many a time in the past. We are bullish, and I'm shorting into a bull market at the minute, which is not ideal, but it's not going up, is it? So might as well have a punt on going down. We're just trying, we've got 2 minutes left on this candle. We're just trying to put in a bullish engulfing on them 5 after this double bottom. So this is quite a critical candle, this one. This will give us a real good indication as to where we're going. NAS is a little bullish as well. Still holding that level. If I can get like 100-point move out of this, that'll do me. Big if today. Nah, still bullish. Okay, we are rolling over. So putting tweezer tops. Just putting a new low. There we go. So hopefully next leg down starting now. I'm not going to add any more into this at the minute. I want to see confirmation of it cracking these lows. If we crack these lows, I'll add one more, I think. So the 34,614 level is the next stop on the way down. If we crack this, we still haven't got down below this level yet. God, it's like pulling teeth. It really is today. No, off again. £10 down. So I'm going to need 3 positions on 1.5%. I'm going to need a good 120 points really to get into profit, decent profit. I'm targeting 120 odd roughly on a single position down there. So I need to get somewhere around the 35 level. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, no, it wasn't 35, was it? It's 34,500 it should have been. Never mind. Anyway, it's gone. Right. What have we got? So we had one more. Okay, we're still at potential support here. I'm not going to add in. Still looking really bullish. Okay, I've got bullish engulfing off of this support. Okay, it is a new low. So, see if we get the 2050. This is looking like it's going back straight back the other way. Choppy as you like, isn't it? So just basically relying on the 50 now. And these highs. If we validate those, we're off the other way. Looks like we are. It's going to be a loss. Right, I'm out. Down day today. There's no point in closing this out early. It's the difference between like $25, $30. So it's either going to hit it or it's going to reverse, but it's going to hit it. Right, I'm done. 300 down. Boo. Right, I'll call it a day there. Can't trade this market. It's just chopped today. So should have got out earlier with a small loss, but you never know what the market's going to do. So take the losers, take the winners. Let's have a look at FX before we disappear. See what's going on with all this lot and ADRs today. Some big old ADR hits today, so nice movement ahead of the news. So tomorrow morning, Aussie dollar, 3:30 a.m. Is what we're waiting for. So the first market moving news tomorrow morning. Aussie dollar rates expected to be as expected, which would expect to push Aussie down. But Aussie's already coming down. So we'll see. And then we've got CAD, obviously. And then we've got New Zealand tomorrow evening as well. So all about the Aussie and the New Zealand tomorrow. ADRs. So big moves on Aussie dollar CAD, obviously, as we know. Let's have a quick look at that one. So nice reversal up there. That was your entry at 175 ADR today. So that was, I think that was first reversal for a while. So that one's paid out really nicely. Just going into an accumulation down here at the minute. Pullback potentially up to that level. Failing that, up to there. Failing that, obviously, come back up and retest. But if we are going to get the Aussie dollar as move as expected, we'll probably pull back a little bit in Asia before the drop. So if you're on that one, up to you whether you want to wait and go down or kind of add in when you get back up there. But it's a difficult one. This could just drop further today. Aussie Swiss ADR. Let's zoom out so we can see what we're doing. So ADR hit 125. That's playing out nicely as well. Aussie yen coming down nicely. Aussie New Zealand. That one's holding. So the New Zealand dollar is obviously weak. Yeah. So Aussie New Zealand is holding because obviously the New Zealand dollar is weaker than the Aussie dollar. So therefore the Aussie dollar is managing to push against New Zealand. Aussie US, nice reversal off of 125. CAD Swiss. So the Swissies weakened. Yeah. Euro, big strong pushes on all these euros. So Euro Swiss didn't get the reverse alert on that because it's too far away off that move up to 175. Lovely bullish, bearish engulfing there, but reverse alert's too far away because we've had far too much strength in one push there. But that is in a beautiful spot. So Euro Swiss is now extended 4 hour. You've got another hour left on this candle, but yeah, up here looking lovely. So whenever we get with the Euro Swiss, any kind of deep retracement. So since we started moving back in February, any kind of deep retracement has been lovely. So that was a lovely move. That was a really lovely move. That was a nice move. That was a nice move. That was a lovely one. You see I traded that one down as well. We're back in the next one now. So market structure is still bearish on this one. Yeah, I'm just putting a new low. So we're expecting a new lower high to move down. So anywhere around this area now between the 72 and the 24 is where we want to be shorting it, which is exactly where we are now. And we've had a beautiful push up to 175 ADR. So lovely entry opportunity on that one. M15, you're about to get an alert, and M5, the same thing. Looking good for shorts. Euro pound. Yeah, Euro pound tricky because the pounds are long. This should be a lovely short, but it's got a really low ADR. If you're going to tie your liquidity up in the Euro pound is not the one to do it in. Any other euro would be good. So Euro yen, Euro US dollar. So all looking good for shorts, and obviously all the pounds as well. They're all lovely longs, and they've all hit ADR. Not all of them, most of them. That's it, ADR to the upside. So pound odd, lovely long opportunity. That's just retested as well. First candle retest, so I don't really like those, but still good. Pound odd for a nice long. And New Zealand dollar CAD. That's played out. If you got in that on 5 minute, God, look at that for a tight entry. Lovely. 8 pips. Gone down 56. Really nice risk reward on that one. Obviously, you can't sell New Zealand's going to collapse like this, but yeah. So yeah, good movement all around on those. And you got 4 hour extension still on US dollar Swiss. This thing's still not gone anywhere. So we had that nice liquidity run. We've pushed up and dropped, not gone anywhere. So nothing's moving. Horrible. Lots of movement, obviously, but up and down. So S&P is looking like it wants to put in new highs. So see if we can hold this. This is critical. We've got 5 hours basically to hold this high. And look at, I mean, we are literally 7 pips in to the highs. So it's close, really close to actually showing some bullish signs. NAS 77 pips. So we are still in positive territory on these. So we'll see. Dow hasn't managed it. So Dow is still stuck. So it's this level here, isn't it, really? But yeah, Dow broke out of it really on Friday. But yeah, look at the highs again. We're just rejecting all the time at these highs. So heavy, so bearish at the minute. And just waiting for these moving averages to come and and I just get the feeling we're going to have the second leg to the downside. So, but me internally is hoping we get this push, but doesn't look like it, does it, at the moment? So, okay, so that's all for today. Bit of a rubbish day today, unfortunately, from the scalping perspective. Would have been the same if I'd have traded futures, because I would have been looking for the same sort of movement on futures anyway. But I probably would have made a lot more money on the NAS move. This didn't really give much opportunity for an out, and it gave really nice opportunity for a second entry as well. So that would have been a lovely little trade. But whether or not I would have got chopped, probably would have got into one or two spots up there as well. So difficult to tell. But yeah, stuck. We're just stuck. Okay, so back tomorrow morning, 8:30, same time as usual. Be aware of news. If you've got any Aussie positions on, get up at 3:30 in the morning, have a look at them. No, only joking. If you've got any Aussies on, obviously, just be aware. If you want to protect them with protective stops, obviously do that, but be aware, obviously, you get whipsaws in news. So, and especially with the Aussie pairs on the swaps, they tend to spread them really big. So, be careful with those. And obviously tomorrow afternoon we've got PMI and GDP for the CAD. So it's going to be another busy old day liquidity wise tomorrow. So, and obviously earnings as well. Earnings starts tomorrow after market. So it all kicks off tomorrow. Don't think I've banked anything else from the EA perspective. Nope, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh yeah, banked some more here. So got a bit more profit on the H1M5 this afternoon. New Zealand dollar, US dollar was the one banked this morning. So Euro, US dollar has just been banked as well. Okay, so see what I mean about these H1M5. The mean reversions on H1M5, they are virtually always 1, 2 or 3 positions. It is so, I haven't got them all on here, but all the trades, but they are so good for just simple 2-3 day positions, 2 or 3 day turnaround positions. It's a really, really good strategy. That it generates less alpha because you're targeting smaller moves. So you're only targeting sort of a half an ADR move, but it's very reliable, very regular. And as you can see, virtually no drawdown. We rarely get into anything more than sort of 7 to 10% drawdown at max. That's if we're getting a squeeze on multiple positions at the same time, which again doesn't happen very often. So nice little strategy, that H1M5 with the EA. The others are sitting in what, 4%, 4%, 4%. It's the magic number, 4%. Right, okay, so I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30. Anything you need, come in the Telegram group. I will be in there. We'll have a good look at the markets tomorrow morning, see what else is setting up. Hopefully we'll get some more RSI extensions on the 4-hour and the hourly tomorrow to get some more positions on. But other than that, I shall be back tomorrow morning and hopefully see you in the Telegram group. But have a good afternoon if you're still trading. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.